Welcome back to the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Raymond Wu. In this segment, we're continuing our conversation with Mr. Ulf Bremer, the general manager of Shangri-La Far Eastern Hotel in both Taipei and Tainan. Ulf, like you said, you broke into the hotel industry when you were just a waiter. And would you mind telling us a little bit? Basically, you started at the, in terms of the hierarchical ladder at the very bottom. How did you experience as a waiter that helped you in the long run of accumulating other expertise in other areas, and now you are the general manager of a leading international hotel in Taipei?
Well, I think, Raymond, in principle, the industry that we're working in is based on experience and knowledge. Now, the theoretical side, you go to school, you learn. And of course, I mean, at a very younger age, as we are both still very young, I went to a college and I did my hotel management degree. And then from there on, I came out and I said, hey, I'm a general manager now, or I'm a hotel manager. And it is not quite the fact.
It doesn't work that way.
You have no opportunity whatsoever to actually succeed. You need to learn the basics. Because ultimately, as we talked earlier, how many colleagues do I have in the 700? You can have up to 1,000, 2,000, or never ending, or you can only have 10. But ultimately, what always comes back is you need to demonstrate. You need to be able to walk the talk. So there's no point to say, well, I know how to run a hotel.
Or I got this degree or certificate. No, that's not enough.
It's not enough. So you need to learn. And literally, to become a general manager took me, personally, 17 years of a career path. So if you look at it this way, well, I don't call it a long time, because it's a journey. And the journey of satisfaction will only come after that. If you expedite too fast, and I've got a lot of colleagues who have been very successful at a younger age, and I'm very happy that I did not do. But simply because it took me that time to ripen, if you can say this way.
You're too modest.
But even today, I mean, I learn so much every day. I always reflect back and I said, gee, I didn't know that one. Why is this one? And then you try to regain. But of course, it pays its tributes. If you want to have a fast-track career, it may take you a few steps or hurdles to take. But it's a beautiful career. Beautiful.
Yeah, but Taipei is your first appointment as general manager.
Second. Yes.
What was the first?
The first one was actually the previous to here. And I became general manager of the Shangri-La's Tanjung Aru Resort in Kota Kinabalu in Sabah, Malaysia.
Yes. Well, that's probably a very different experience being the general manager of a resort hotel, and compared to the experience that you had in the metropolitan, international city like Taipei.
Oh, absolutely. You see a gentleman here with a tie. And there I arrived, and I had long sleeve shirt and
collar open.
Well, the collar wasn't even open still at that time. It was still closed, and I said, what am I going to do here? But then instantly, within 10 minutes, I started to transpire because it was 32 degrees with no spaces being air-conditioned, so on and so forth. So it's a huge learning curve.
Of course.
But again, this is a beauty. Yes, my professional background is predominantly learning in business hotels. But then you get pushed into a next level of opportunity, and you work in the resort, and your thinking mode completely changes.
Yeah, the parameters are different.
Very, very different.
Yes.
Business hotels have got certain expectations. Resorts have got a very different expectation of a customer. Still the same, we talk about quality of service, comfort of stay, the bed, and so on and so forth, but the anticipations from our customers in a resort are very different to one in the business hotel.
Other than Taipei and Malaysia, where else have you been appointed before?
Gee, that's a few. I learned my career, I started in Switzerland, and I probably worked there about 6 years altogether. From there, I went on to Saudi Arabia. From Saudi Arabia to Indonesia. From Indonesia to Japan. From Japan, I went back to Germany. Then to England. From England to Indonesia. From Indonesia to China. From China to Taiwan. Taiwan, Hong Kong. Malaysia, Taiwan.
Again.
So that's what my career path.
Taipei to Tainan. Yeah, so not just in Taipei only.
Well, Tainan is operated by a colleague of mine. So we are two general managers in the hotel.
Good.
The beauty of having two hotels together is actually there's a beautiful chance of doing synergies and supporting each other in a way of being a more successful enterprise.
Of all the previous appointments that you had, what were some of the more fun experiences that you still remember For example, your experience in Japan, in China, versus parts of Europe. Which ones that you remember the best?
That's a very tricky question on a Taiwanese TV program. I cannot answer that very straightly.
No. I mean, just overall. I mean, not just for you professionally, but also for your family as well.
Oh, I mean, as you heard all these different countries and different stages in life, I mean, you're talking 23 years now, or 22 years.
All right.
I think I have a lot of fond memories, especially the places where I was appointed to, where a family member was born. I've got 3 children.
Okay,
so
congratulations.
It was England, China, and Taiwan.
Okay, good.
So obviously these are very, very fond memories.
Of course.
Professionally speaking as well, I think Japan was an incredible enrichment. Especially in the food and beverage field, I have to say that the skills are incredible that you have, what I've observed there in terms of their dedication towards
freshness
bartending
and
culinary and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That was very nice. If you open a hotel, I think it's a very special moment.
Okay.
So
you had the experience opening a hotel in Japan?
Yeah. Or if you renovate a hotel. I mean, it's a lot of memories here and there.
Okay.
Of course, another one is certainly when you have been pushed, you have moved into the first time being a real expatriate, leaving your home grounds.
Of course.
And if I call Europe my home, having moved into Saudi Arabia,
to the
which
Middle
is a
East.
very special environment.
Yes. Yeah, very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
It was a special moment as well.
Mm-hmm. And
but returning to Taiwan, for example, being a second time here, it's a beauty, because you have learned during the first time. So coming back, it's such an enrichment as well, because you have got a basic knowledge. And then from there you start to walk and talk and look a little bit more.
Add on a little more, accumulate.
Yes.
Let's talk about your experiences in China. What years were you there?
2001 and 2.
Okay, 2 years. And what city?
Beijing.
Beijing, okay. And that was at the time, I think, Beijing just got the Olympic bid. And I suppose the whole nation, not just the city of Beijing itself, was mobilized to gear up for this huge event in 2008. Did you sense that when you were there?
Oh, yes.
Did you sense that China was moving in a positive direction after the June 4th incident in 1989 and putting economy first, not so much on ideology anymore? Did you sense that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would like to take it even a little more simpler than this, without political and so on.
Yes.
I think the very first moment that we have had it is that you felt this pride in the people.
Yes.
You saw something. I mean, I think language is still a big issue.
Okay.
And I'm very thankful that you don't ask me about my Mandarin skills and knowledge. I mean, and please do not ask me this question, but you felt that there was this imminent, I need to speak English. And I was at a time when the taxi drivers were kind of mobilized to learn the first phrases and try and test them a little bit and so on and so forth. But as well, amongst the young colleagues of mine, I was at the time with the Shangri-La group at the Carey Center Hotel.
Oh, okay.
And you felt as well that they predominantly young colleagues, fresh out of school, so they're all very eager, looking forward to, but not quite knowing how to walk yet. So there's a lot of emphasis in there and trying to get a little bit more the comfort zones. And that was a very special moment. But I think for me it was good fun as well when I was in Hong Kong, and that was after my first assignment here, when the torch actually came through.
Okay, so you were there
on the way back when they
2008, right before.
No, it was It was when it was picked up from. And I should remember this one actually.
It was
coming from
1997.
No. It was in 2004.
Yes. When after the Athens.
Athens, exactly. Yes. Thank you, from Europe. When actually the mayor.
Yes.
Of Beijing, with his entourage, actually on the way back from Athens, stopped in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And because obviously Hong Kong had a role to play in the Olympic Games as well, it was shared. And actually the torch came into the Shangri-La's island, Shangri-La, in Hong Kong to stay there. And it stayed with us for 3 days, and it was a very special moment as well.
Yeah.
So welcoming the delegation and the mayor, and having had this opportunity to serve, it was beautiful. It was very, very special.
Yeah, but now you're coming back to Taiwan. Taiwan, of course, is a little more mature market. It's not as big as in China. But do you sense a lot of differences in Taiwan between your 2 stays, 2 appointments in Taipei?
Yes. One of the very first imminent impressions that my family and I had is that the city cleaned up much more.
Okay.
I think, and it was a very important point. From a hospitality point, a very, very important point.
The air qualities.
The air quality, the litter, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, a lot of behaviors changed in these 4 years I was absent. New developments, obviously, in the Xinyi area showed. Nehu developed more. More attractions were built. A lot of more entertainment aspects came through. More concerts. Not so much on the classical side because it was already very, very strong, but even more on the pop music and so on. So it was a lot of hype that you felt, and I think you can see it's going from strength to strength.
I'm going to ask you to be subjective on this.
Can't.
Do you like Taipei?
Yes.
Yes, and because the fact that it's a lot more cleaner, or is it because it's a lot more international? Which is the aspect that attracts you the most?
I think Taipei combines tradition and modernism, and I think
that's often what I hear from expat friends.
Yes. And I think it's a nice combination.
Okay.
Now, I think we will see many more changes coming through.
Okay.
And I believe as well a lot of the traditions will be strengthened again. Instead of eradicating of what was previous, we don't want to know. But I think we want to really see that the culture is going to be continuously instilled to the younger generation to actually keep it. And I think it's very, very important.
Okay, good. And when we come back to the Taiwan Outlook, we're going to ask Ulf Bremer about his experiences in Taipei as an expat and how international is Taipei become since his last day here. We'll be back in 2 minutes.